In the heart of the big city, hidden among the skyscrapers and the noise of speeding cars, there was a small park. This park was a place where children played, the elderly sat on benches and reminisced about their memories, and people of all ages found a moment of peace. Keloğlan's house was in an apartment building right across from the park, and he would always head there as soon as he returned from school. This park held a special place in his world because whenever he went there, he felt like he was in a fairy tale land. The park was filled with colourful flowers and wide grassy areas. Poppies turned their yellow heads towards the sun and danced, while purple violets timidly peeked out from the grass. Right at the entrance of the park stood a majestic plane tree with tall branches reaching towards the sky. Keloğlan always thought, when he came under the plane tree and looked at its old branches, that this tree had witnessed everything that had happened in the city. Under the plane tree, there was a wet area that hosted tiny bird nests hanging from its branches. Here, sparrows, colourful hummingbirds, and even sometimes exotic migratory birds gathered. As you went deeper into the park, a silent pond would catch your eye. The surface of the pond was covered with small water lilies, and delicate white flowers bloomed on them. Sometimes colourful butterflies fluttered over them, their wings lightly flapping, making them look like fairy dust floating over the pond. By the edge of the pond, there was a path lined with reeds and small pebbles. Keloğlan loved walking on this path because sometimes he saw his own silhouette reflected on the water's surface and dreamed. Among the grass of the park, small rabbits roamed, hiding among the leaves and observing their surroundings with curious eyes. These rabbits would sometimes come close to the children, playing hide and seek, and watch them. Even Keloğlan sometimes thought about bringing them carrots. Among the bushes, mice and small lizards roamed, finding tiny hideouts in every corner of the park. Another special feature of this park was the wooden play areas where children played. Swinging swings, slides that moved slightly with the wind, and a small climbing wall made of ropes echoed with the laughter of children. However, as you went deeper into the park, the trees became denser and silence set in. This old area, where no one had been for a long time, with tree trunks covered in moss and old grass, always made Keloğlan feel a bit uneasy but also curious. One day, as he returned from school and took the path to the park, he found himself in that mysterious corner while playing hide and seek. Among the bushes, something caught his attention. An old, dusty map. He gently passed his fingers over the map and read the words written on it. Find your lost friends. As he read these words, his heart started beating faster. As he held the map and examined it closely, he realized it was a treasure hunt in the park. This map would take him to corners he had never known and maybe introduce him to his lost friends. With great excitement, Keloğlan took the first step in this mysterious park adventure. The map marked certain points in the park. The first marked point was an old fountain sculpture. Keloğlan, holding the map, started walking excitedly in that direction. However, along the way, when he told people about the map, no one believed him. Even some adults thought he was joking. Keloğlan did not lose morale and continued his way until he reached the first point. While investigating around the old fountain, he found a note on the ground. On the note, it said, "Listen to the voice of your heart. It will guide you to the right path." Although these words further confused Keloğlan's mind, his curiosity did not stop him. The next marked place was under a big tree. However, to get there, he had to cross a very busy street. The traffic was very intense. but he crossed carefully. When he arrived under the tree, he found an old toy car among the grass. Next to it was a message. "This car is a memory of an old friend. Take it home." Keloğlan took the car and put it in his bag. As Keloğlan, with the old map in hand, walked step by step towards the farthest corner of the park, his heart was beating with excitement and a bit of fear. The map marked a small door in the depths of the park. To get there, he had to pass through narrow paths and among dense trees. In this area, where even daylight was hard to reach, everything seemed a bit more frightening. The whispering of the branches, the faint rustling of the forest from time to time, the rapid movement of the wings of birds in the distance. Finally, Keloğlan reached the place indicated by the map and noticed a small, secret door behind an old, cracked bench. The door was wrapped in vines and covered in moss. It seemed like no one had been there for a long time. Above the door was a strange text. "You will find your friends here." As Keloğlan read these words, his curiosity intensified even more. He opened the door and stepped inside, feeling like he had entered a different world. The area behind the door was different from the rest of the park. It was like a small, mysterious woodland with darker trees and lower branches. Keloğlan found a small toy box here that seemed to have been forgotten for years. Inside the box were old toy cars, cloth dolls, small soldier figures, and other objects. These toys seemed to have been lost or forgotten here. As Keloğlan opened the box and looked inside, he felt that each toy actually had a different story. Who knows? Maybe each of these toys was a child's favorite. Next to the box, he found a tiny note. "Bring your friends back." As he read this sentence, Keloğlan's mind was confused. How would he bring his friends back? Keloğlan thought about this question for a while, then decided to collect the old toys in this mysterious area one by one. He took them in his arms and started cleaning them. At that moment, he heard a high-pitched sound from the hollow of a nearby tree. When he turned towards the direction of the sound, he noticed a small white rabbit looking at him with curiosity. The rabbit had its ears erect and was watching Keloğlan with innocent eyes, as if expecting help. Keloğlan smiled at the rabbit and extended a piece in his hand. The rabbit slowly approached, sniffed the piece in Keloğlan's hand, and sat down beside him confidently. Then another rustling was heard. This time, a yellow-furred cat emerged from among the leaves, as if a door to another world had opened in the depths of the park. Small animals began to gather around Keloğlan one by one. Each of them seemed to want to meet these toys that had been hidden and forgotten here for years again. After collecting the toys, Keloğlan noticed that the animals were also accompanying him. The rabbit, the cat, and then a few birds walked behind him in a row. While collecting the toys in this mysterious corner, he would show each one to the other children and these animals. He thought about making a place where other children like him could play in the park and the animals could roam freely. Keloğlan's eyes began to sparkle. This was not just a journey to find toys, but perhaps also a journey to find the lost soul of the park again. At that moment, something caught his attention. At the bottom of the box, a golden key was shining. He took the key, but he didn't know where it belonged. Perhaps this key was the key to another door that revealed another secret of the park. Keloğlan put the key in his pocket and left the small door to return to the park. But this time, he was not alone. Behind him were the small animals that accompanied him, and he was ready to make a new beginning in the park. As Keloğlan left the park, he met some neighbor children on the way and told them about the mysterious map and the forgotten toys. Although the children seemed not to believe him at first, they followed him with curiosity. When they arrived at that old corner of the park again, Keloğlan showed all the points on the map to his friends and gave them the old toys he had found. While the children spent time with these old toys, Keloğlan gave the kitten to a friend who wanted to adopt it. Thus, the toys found new owners and the kitten founded a new home. Keloğlan's adventure conveys the importance of sharing, cooperating, and being sensitive to our environment. It also teaches children to be careful in big cities, to be compassionate towards street animals, and to take small but meaningful steps to beautify their surroundings.